Hello friends, and welcome to Miss Debbie's Story Time. Today we are going to be reading a book about a mischievous little mouse. It is called Mouse Mess by Linnea Riley. Here we go. Mouse Mess. Do you see one of the letters in the word mouse? What is it? That's silly. That's a cracker. For my dad who loves cornflakes. Okay, here we go. Hush, hush, little mouse is sound asleep inside his house. Do you see the mouse? He's sleeping in a little can. It's called a sardine can. On the stairs, the sound of feet. It looks like everyone's going to bed. Mouse is up. It's time to eat. Look at, he's hanging on looks like he's hanging on a string. And he's found a way to get himself onto the countertop. Crunch, crunch. He wants a cracker. Munch, munch. A cookie snacker. Ooh, those look like Oreos. Miss Debbie loves Oreos. Do you like Oreos? I think Mouse likes Oreos too. Crackle, sweep. He rakes cornflakes and jumps into the pile he makes. Do you ever do that in the fall? Rake some leaves and jump into the pile of leaves? I think that silly mouse is pretending he's jumping into leaves, but he's jumping into cereal instead. Sniff, sniff, milk and cheese. Mouse would like a taste of these. Splish, splash, the milk spills out. Food is scattered all about. Is that mouse making a mess? I think he is too. Sticky, gooey jam to spread with peanut butter smeared on bread. He's making his own peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Tipping, slipping, the sugar falls. Pour and pat, make castle walls. Is he making a sand castle out of sugar? Olives, pickles, ketchup, fun. Pop the tops off one by one. Mouse steps back and he looks around. He can't believe the mess he's found. Look at that mess. He said, "Who made this awful mess?" asked Mouse. "These people need to clean their house." Huh? Do you think the people made the mess? Or did Mouse make the mess? I don't think Mouse thinks he made the mess. But I do. Do you? Yes. Gurgle bubble, water flows. Soaks the jam between his toes. He's taking a bath in a coffee cup. Now that Mouse is clean and fed, he leaves the mess and goes to bed. It looks like everybody's coming downstairs now for breakfast. And I think they're going to be surprised by the mess Mouse left. The end. Mouse made a really big mess. When we make messes, do we leave them for someone else to clean up? No, we don't. We clean them up ourselves. If the mess is too big, we can ask for help. But we don't leave messes for other people like Mouse does. Silly Mouse. So now that we're done with our story, we are now going to make a mouse craft. Okay, so Miss Debbie thought I would turn the camera around so that you would be able to see a little bit better as to how we're going to be making our craft today. What I have here are 2 mouse finger puppets. They're easy to make, lots of fun, and I made these 2 different ways. One I made with construction paper and a pipe cleaner tail and a pom-pom nose. And the other one I made out of simple notebook paper with the paper tail, and everything else is made out of the notebook paper. So I didn't need anything but a piece of notebook paper and a little bit of glue. So before we get started, you're going to need paper of any kind. You are going to need glue stick or tape. You're going to need some sort of tail. You can use ribbon. Miss Debbie has some gold ribbon here. You can use some construction paper. I have pipe cleaner. You could also use a piece of yarn or anything else that you can think of that Miss Debbie hasn't mentioned. For eyes, Miss Debbie simply used a crayon. You can use pom-poms, or you can cut out your own eyes from a piece of construction paper. Or you can have googly eyes. If you have some small googly eyes, you can put those on as well. For the nose, you can either use paper or a pom-pom or anything else that you can think of that Miss Debbie hasn't thought of. So the first thing that we do is we are going to choose our paper. For now, Miss Debbie's going to use construction paper. And what I did was I found something to use to trace a circle onto construction paper. I found this little bowl here. You can use anything you'd like, and your circle can be any size you'd like. In order to get a mouse this size, Miss Debbie cut out this circle here. You can also cut it out of, like I said, notebook paper. I just traced it onto the notebook paper. And I am going to cut out the paper, so I'm going to have this done already to save us on some time. And what you are going to do is once you have your paper cut, you are just going to roll the paper just like so. I just rolled it over. So you have a little pointy edge. Now you could use a glue stick to attach this, but it will take a little bit to dry, so I'm going to use a piece of tape just so we get it done quicker. So Miss Debbie has some tape. I'm simply going to put it along the side and push it down. Just like that. Now before we continue, what I'm going to have you do is hold it in your hands like this and just squeeze it together a little bit to make a little line in the middle there. Doesn't have to be exactly in the middle, but that's going to help you when you place your eyes. You're going to know whereabouts to put your 2 eyes. So I am going to draw some eyes on this time, just like I did the last time. And all I'm going to do is push it down now a little bit. Actually, my line wasn't really centered. Let me fix that a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to push it flat, and I'm just going to draw 2 eyes with my crayon. 2 little black eyes, just like so. Then what I'm going to do is, Miss Debbie has a penny. You can either use something to trace for a nose. Miss Debbie traced some pink circles with her penny, and I cut out 3 of them. 3 little circles. And see, this is also how I traced them on my notebook paper. I have my 3 little circles and my big circle that I traced out. And what I am going to do is I am going to color this pink paper a little bit black because I want my mouse to have a black nose. So if you have markers or crayons, you can color that. Also, if you have some stickers that you could use, you could also use that for a little nose for your mouse. Now I'm going to use my glue stick, put a little bit of glue behind that, and I am going to stick that on here for the nose. Push it down pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is color the inside of my little pink ears a little bit brown. You can do this however you'd like. Miss Debbie just wants to add a little bit of brown. And here's the other one. Adding a little bit of brown. And now I'm going to use my glue stick again. Put a little glue on the back. If you don't have a glue stick, you can use tape. And I am going to glue on an ear, just like so. Now I'm going to glue on the other ear, just like this. Okay, so let's see. I have a nose, I have 2 eyes, and 2 ears. Now I need some whiskers and a tail. So I think what I'm going to do is use my piece of paper. You can use any color you'd like. And I am just going to make a few little strips here. And another one right next to it. Make them kind of thin. And chop across. And then you can cut this into 4 equal parts for the whiskers. And we have the tail. So now what you need to do is put a little bit of glue and stick it down on the nose. A little bit of glue. If you don't have a glue stick, you can use regular glue or some tape. Put some glue on this one. And one more whisker. Miss Debbie wants to use 4. You could use 2. It doesn't matter. You could use 6. However you'd like to make your whiskers. It's up to you. So now you're just going to push down on that and make sure they're sticking. Now I need a tail. And I could either use the piece of yarn that we said, a little pipe cleaner that Miss Debbie just wrapped around a crayon here and slid it off, or a piece of ribbon. Anything you have around the house that you'd like to use. You can also use a piece of paper here that Miss Debbie had cut up. I think I'm going to use the other piece of orange paper, and what I'm going to do is wrap it around the crayon just like I did with the pipe cleaner. And give it a little squeeze and slide it off. Now I have a little bit of a curly tail. And all I need to do now is put a little bit of tape at the end, glue at the end, and I am just going to stick it on to the top of my mouse. And there is our mouse finger puppet. You're just going to put your 2 fingers in and hold it with your thumb, and there's your fun little mouse puppet. And again, we have one here that's made out of just notebook paper. The notebook paper is colored black with a crayon. The whiskers are colored black with a crayon. The ears are notebook paper. I colored those pink with a crayon. And I colored the circle with black for the nose. So it's very simple. I hope you enjoy the mouse craft. Miss Debbie has also included a printable. In case you don't have any of these supplies, you can print up a printable, and it has on it a lot of the food that the mouse made a mess with. So I hope you had fun making our little mouse finger puppets and reading our book, Mouse Mess. And until I see you again next week, stay happy and healthy, my friends. I miss you so much. Bye.